Welcome back. Yes, there are 4 computers on the table. I briefly want to talk about this CPU. This is what's inside these. Well, this one is in there and a faster one is in there. This is the Intel 8086. This is where everything started when it comes to personal computers. Intel released this Intel 8086 in 1987. I think it's June, so that's when this came out. In 83, Olivetti took this CPU and plopped it in here. And a year after, they took the faster version and plopped it in this one. This is the M24, this is the M24 SP. So I'm assuming most of you out there, you are familiar with the 8088. That's the one in the IBM 5150. That one runs at 4.77. Intel produced the 8086 before that, so this came first. And they also had it in the 4.77 megahertz version. I am not aware of any computers that actually had the Intel 8086 running at 4.77. But I'm assuming there are some computers. I'm just not aware of them. But they also produced the -1, -2, and I think there's a -4. So the -1, that's the fast one. That runs at 10 megahertz. So 8086-1, 10 megahertz. They also produced in 1980, I think it was, they produced the -2, which was a little bit slower. It runs at 8 megahertz. That's over here. And then they produced a 8086-4, which ran at 5 megahertz. And again, I don't know any computers that actually had that one in it. Obviously, Intel also produced the same chip for the military industry, which basically meant it could go below 0 degrees and above, I don't know, 100 degrees or something Celsius. But that's not that one. They also licensed the 40-dip chip out to other companies. And some of you may even know about the V20, which is kind of like the same as this one. But the reason I'm talking about this is because these 4 computers all have this CPU inside it. And the story today, or the video today, is not about everything here. It's just piling up on my side, and I need to investigate what's in all of this. This is dirty, been standing in the barn, I think. It's filthy, it smells really bad. There are wires hanging out of it, and scars and broken pieces, and maybe none of this is running. This is Olivetti, and at that time period, everything was proprietary Olivetti that didn't uphold the standard. One of the reasons was that this CPU is a real 16-bit CPU, which meant bus-wise, where IBM only had the 8-bit bus, Olivetti needed the 16-bit bus. And therefore, they also made their own 16-bit. So they extended the 8-bit to 16-bit, which is in here. Sadly, that didn't become the AT standard. So, together with these 4, I also have, I know you most likely can't see, I have 2 color monitors that also came with these Olivetti computers. Again, proprietary graphics card and proprietary cables. And if you watch my YouTube channels, you have also heard about that even the keyboard is proprietary to Olivetti. So you cannot switch and match with everything else besides it needs to be Olivetti. Okay, why am I talking about all of this? I'm talking about this because I have these 4 computers, those two monitors, I need to clean them and I need to figure out how bad is it. So that's gonna be about this episode. Then afterwards, we will go through every single one of these items and try to see if we can fix them if they're broken and so on and so forth. But that's not this one. So let me lean back, let me run the intro, and then I will come back and we will have a look at all the computers briefly to see how bad it is. Okay, first one. This one is the Olivetti M24. So that's the first computer that Olivetti produced as a PC. Before that we had the M21, which I also have featured many times on the channel. Very briefly, it doesn't look that bad. This is a little bit special, I think, because there's a 3.5 inch. If you had the latest BIOS in the computer, you were actually able to have 3.25 inch. Prior to that, I think it's is it 2.46? I'm not sure. I can't remember the actual number. But prior to that version of the BIOS, you could only have 5.25 inch disk drives in it. This one also holds a hard disk. Here we have the reset button, and down here there will be a green light when the computer is open. We have the logo over here. If I briefly turn around, there's nothing much to say. Let me try and find the serial number. So the casing is called BU2657. The serial number is 6048995. Over here is the power, the PSU. So there's an on and off button, there's power in, there's power out, which could be connected to the monitor. If you had the color monitor, you needed power. If you had the black and white or green or amber phosphor, the power actually came over here from the graphics card, which then provided the plus 12 voltage to that monitor, which then didn't need external power. Down here we have the proprietary Olivetti keyboard. We have a parallel, and we have a serial. So all of this is built into the motherboard. So you didn't need to buy extra cards to get parallel and serial plugs to your computer. This one says 20M HD controller, so I think this is where we'll find the hard disk controller card. And as I said, this is the CRT card. So there are 4 screws. This design is for both this and the 3 other ones over there, so including the M24 SP. 2 screws on the top, 2 screws on the bottom, because as we will see in a second, the actual motherboard sits upside down in the bottom of the casing. So if you screw these 4 screws out, maybe we can open it up. Let me see. Like this. Basically what I want to do first is to figure out how bad is it, how dirty is it. It's not dirty in here, it's not dirty in here, as I can see. And then I need to see, because there's a battery on the motherboard, a water battery, which will be leaking and effing up the motherboard. So we need to figure that out, and I need to rip it out. So very briefly, the floppy disk drive is here, the hard disk is down here, and the controller for the hard disk, which is this one. The controller for the actual floppy disk is built in on the motherboard, so it comes out here through over here and in the bottom of it. Again, this goes for all the models. So it seems fine, it seems okay. So let me turn it around. It's a little bit stuck. I did unscrew. There we go. Shouldn't bump too much on it. Looks also fine. Briefly, and this again goes for all of them. Once I clean everything, there are metal thingies up here that needs to be pulled out. You can just punch in and then take them out. And there are metal things here. There will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. So you can take the front cover off also. which I obviously will do. If I just briefly take back the other casing, the same goes here. These can be taken out, and the front cover can also via 1, 2, 3, 4 5, sorry, up here also 5 screws. So this front cover here can also be taken out. This can actually also be pulled out as it is. So I'll do all of that for all 4 computers. I will clean the casing as such. If I find any rust, I will put it to the glass pasta. I'm not going through the actual motherboards, which I have done many times before. I just want to briefly say the battery is not in. It will sit over here. So we are good with this one. This is the Intel 8086-2. This is not Intel, this is a Siemens I can see. And yay, we have a core mat processor, so the Intel 8087-2 is also in here. It's an oddball because I can see this is one of the first BIOS, so this is version 1.36, high and low. So I'm curious about how they managed to get this up and running with the 3.5 inch. Maybe this is only 720 megabyte and not 1.44. Maybe that's the reason. We'll come back to all of this. But all in all, this computer is pretty and it's not all dirty. I don't see rust, so it should be a brief for me to clean this, which I will then eventually do. Let me take this together and let's bring back the other one. Second, this is again the Olivetti M24, so nothing much to say. The hard disk sits on top here and there's a 5.25 in here. Same thing. Let me just briefly find the serial number. So the casing is called BU2651 and the serial model number is 6054270. Again, same thing. I see a card here and I see something here which looks a little bit weird. Is this CGA? Not sure. And obviously the controller card here. So let's open it up. This one is very dirty, all over the place. Yeah, looks fine. I don't know why there's something up here. That's weird. And if we look at it, we have the big hard disk over here. This is an NEC hard disk. This is not the original Olivetti hard disk. Oh, there's loads of cards in here. This is gonna be very exciting. Once I've cleaned everything, I will have a talk about this one. But this computer is exciting, I can tell you now. So the graphics card sits over here. And this is the 16-bit bus over here, and the 8-bit bus is over there. And together with the graphics card, you could have an extended graphics card sitting next to it, and it would be connected to here. I've shown this one on my channel many times before. And this gives you 640 times 400 pixels in 2 colors. If you have the extra card, you got 8 colors out of it, I remember. I'm pretty sure, I can't remember actually. So you could extend it with an extra graphics card. What I can see right now is there's a weird card here. And it's actually not screwed in. And this weird card, we'll come back to it, is plugged into the graphics card where the font bias, the font size, character sets must be called, actually would sit, so you will have a Danish character set or whatever character set you wanted in here. And that is connected to this board. Never ever seen this one before, have no clue what it is. The ROM bias that will actually sit here with a character ROM is actually this one I can see. This is called PDBL, but there's also ISO DK M24 TD3 R2.4, and there's an empty slot here. No idea what all of this is. I will assume with some software you can swap around the character sets on this Olivetti. This is very exciting. No idea what it is. The board is pretty. So let me get this back in. Sorry, I'm leaning over. There we go. Next to that one is another Oddball, this one. And that's the one with a connector that looks like a CGA. So I'm not sure what that is. Again, we need to figure out once we go through the actual computers. This is only about finding the Varta batteries and get them clean. Very special card. Absolutely no clue. So again, exciting. I have no clue what it is. Yeah. What is this? And what is this up here? Well, nevertheless, let's put it back and let's turn the computer around because I want to see if the battery's in here. There's another card over here which seems to be maybe another parallel or serial thingy. Let's just briefly check it out. Looks like this. And again, no naming whatsoever, so no clue. But looks like this. Cool. Again, we'll come back to all of this. Here's the hard disk controller, and again, the controller for the floppy disk drive is mounted on the board itself, so we don't need that. It comes up here. Okay, cool. Everything looks pretty, everything looks nice as it should be. So let's turn it around. Looks fine, it's just very dusty. And yeah, a lot of dust. The battery is out, so that's good. Thank you, whoever had this before me. The board looks fine. The BIOS is a 1.44. This is again high and low. There we have the CPU. This is a Intel, and it's called D8086-2. There's no Core or MAT processors in here. So all in all, perfect. Let's move on to, so these two were the 8 megahertz. Let's go to the Olivetti M24 SPs. They're back over here. These are the fast one running at 10 megahertz. So let me put all this together and let's look at the first one. Next up is number 3. This is the fast one. This is the Olivetti M24 SP. So this is the one that runs at 10 megahertz. Kind of like looks the same. The color scheme has changed a little bit, but besides that, it's more or less the same. Sorry, there seems to be a hard disk up here. The SP always came with a hard disk. The M24 that we just looked at, they started with only floppy disk drive, and then afterwards they came with hard disk, or you could buy a hard disk obviously and put it in. This one looks strange. There are 2 things coming out of a hole in there, going into the computer, no idea. Again, it's the same thing. Yeah, again, power supply and keyboard and parallel and serial. This one also obviously has the graphics card, but I can see this one actually has the extended graphics card linked to the graphics card. No idea. And I can see in here there's something in there also. This says plotter/printer, and this says digisizer. Maybe they use this for some sort of CAT thing. Let's just briefly have a look over here. There's no casing number on it, but there's a model number 02752990. Okay, let's open it up. This looks really bad. You can actually take this case and put it on a 24 or vice versa. They're interchangeable. Yikes. Okay, I'm not sure if this comes out. The rust all over the place. I'm not sure what all of this is, but this cannot be good for a hard disk. This is the original Olivetti OPE hard disk. This is the 5220-2. So this actually just means that it's a 20 megabyte. -2 means it's the fast one. I can't remember the speed of it. Originally, in the beginning, it came with -1, which was the slow one, and then -2, which then obviously is the fast one. Rust all over the place. There is a main. So this cable, this is the keyboard connector cable. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say. So somebody snipped off the keyboard connector from an actual Olivetti keyboard. There we go. Yeah. And okay, I don't know what to say. There's a number 5 from a keyboard. This is either from the keyboard 1 or keyboard 2. I also featured those 2 keyboards on the homepage, the YouTube channel, so you can see everything. This is bad. Damn. So why is this here and this here? Which are these going down here? We'll have to look at that. It's smashed. Let me see if I can, I'm not sure. It's bad. It's really, really bad. If we have a look, I hope you can see this has been smashed. So all of this is broken. There are wires here. This is the extended graphics card that is now connected to the onboard graphics card. And the wires are hanging loosely all over the place. So this is bad. But it's just a challenge, right? And I'm sure we will get it up and running. So what is all of this? I talked about the 2 graphics cards. This is the hard disk controller. I can see it goes to the hard disk. This is floating, so that's the data cable, right? And this is for managing the controlling unit, I think. So this needs to go either there, over there, I'm not sure. So there's a graphics controller, hard disk controller, and then there's this, which on the label said digisizer. So, but it has an Olivetti branded. So the name of this is called IF297, and this is March 1986. Yeah, dirty and dusty and whatever have you. But it's an Olivetti card. I've never seen this one before. Okay, and that's it. Damn, it's gonna be a challenge. Let me turn it around. Loads of stuff will fall out of this now. Holy, wow, there's so much rust in here. Maybe we cannot save this one. Poop and stuff and corn and I don't know what coming out. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. So I'm trying to get this off. I will, okay, wow. Okay, let me pull the wires through, sorry. This seems to go to the loudspeaker. Okay, so as you can see, bad. Poop, rust, stuff. So this needs to be fixed. Loads and loads of rat poops and other stuff floating around in here, and rust and spider stuff. Yeah. Ugh. But these 2 wires, this fell off, but these 2 are going to the loudspeaker. There's a loudspeaker here. This loudspeaker cannot say more than beep. There is a water battery, and this water battery needs to go out. So I will start snipping this out, put this area in vinegar. When the water battery leaks its guts all over the place, due to the fact that the board is upside down, it's not going far over, but this area, so the lights here, which is the light for when the computer's on, and the reset button, they will be infected by it, and some of the small components down here. Vinegar has, until now, always saved me. So I'll snip it off, take the board out, obviously, when I'm cleaning everything, put this area in vinegar, rinse it down, and then we'll have to see if we fixed it. Okay, cool. So BIOS 1.36, high and low. There is a Intel P8086-1, so this is the 10 megahertz. There's another ceramic matte coprocessor from Intel sitting up here. Perfect. We love these. And here's the memory. This is 640. And I think to recall in the two other ones, they were also fully populated, which usually meant that you have 640 bytes on all the computers until now. This is nice. This is bank 0. This is bank 1. In the beginning, when you had the Olivetti M24, they only came with 128, which is the one that's on board. And then they could be populated with 512 over here, which this obviously is. The SP version was always with fully populated with 640. Perfect. This is going to be up the hill. Yeah, not nice. Let me take the casing on them and let me clean the table and come back. We have a key and we have something more for a keyboard. There we go. Let me clean it. Table is almost clean. Number 4. This is again Olivetti personal computer M24 SP. No need for me to get through this. Throw around, I mean 5¼ and I think there's a hard disk. So the bracket that actually covers, which is like red, is missing. Let's just, even worse, rust all over here. Let me just briefly say the model number. So this is the serial number. I think it's called 0275274. The labeling up here is the same labeling as there were on the previous one. So I think these were in a school together where you did maybe something with a digitizer and AutoCAD or something, because it says digitizer up here, plotter printer, screen, and no connection. But it's missing stuff. Rusty. Loads of bumps. Not that bad though. So this casing is less bad than the other one, but this one has big bumps in it. Okay. Okay, so there's a card. This is the extended graphics card that sits over here. It's missing its bracket to screw it in here. This cable that we see here is the one that goes there. Here we have the wires. They're getting a little bit loose. We can fix all of this. So yeah, this needs to sit in next to this one, but we're missing this bracket. Okay, yeah, let me just take this to the side. What else do we have? The same digitizer card that we saw before, the same hard disk controller, and the same hard disk, 5220-2. So it's the same setup as the other sorry, as the other Olivetti M24 SP. Nothing changed. Extremely rusty down here, like super crazy all over the place. Even on the power supply, even something on the hard disk. So yeah, let's turn it around and then see if there's a water battery in this one also. Stuff is floating in here. Yep, it's coming out now. Wow. Can you see it on the table? Well, there we go. Okay, I don't know what this is. There we go. So, let's take this cover off. Yep, rust. It's nothing that I can't fix with the glass blaster. Rat poops. Spider. The BIOS is 1.36. Water battery leaking this just the same as the other one, so I'll need to do the same thing. Snip it off, put this in vinegar, and then clean all of this. There is a Siemens 8086 M24SP. That's the name of this one. There's no coprocessor in here. Okay, so it seems that my focus needs to be on these two SPs because they seem to be the worst. I will take everything out of them and I will clean everything, and then we need to see if any of all of this is actually working. Let me briefly take this away, and we have two monitors that we need to look at. So let me take this away, 640K up here again, same. So let me take it away, clean the table, take out the monitor. I think we need to open up the monitors to have a look inside and see how bad it is inside. So let me fix all of this. Yep, monitor number one, over there's number two. Let's look at this one. Dirty, and it has scarves. It's miscolored. I already took the screws out. I'll explain to you afterwards where they are. So this has been, retro brighting would be good for this one. So let me just briefly put this back, and and just briefly go back here and explain. There's power in, and there's this weird plug. The computers did not come with the original cable to hook up the monitor. I obviously have a few of them. So this cable will go in here, sorry, the other way around. This one goes in there, and the other one goes into the graphics card, because this is a color monitor. It's the same cable. If this was a monochrome monitor, there will just not be a power, because the power will be provided via one of the wires in the cable. That's the 12-volt rail. So a screw in there, a screw over there, and there's a screw down here and a screw on the other side, which then means we should be able... let me please explain that these two monitors came with the Olivetti M24 SPs, the completely rusty ones with poops inside. So I'm expecting this to be the same. I should have worn gloves. So you can lift it up very carefully. I see sorry, shouldn't have said that, but I'm not sure you can see. There's, disgusting things in here. And here's the computer monitor, more stuff. This is the feet with more stuff. Wow. This is really spider degrees. Okay, cool. How should we open this up? You will have to screw this one out, and this one, and this one. And then there will be screws here. There's also screws on the side to get deeper into this. The stand for the monitor can also be taken off when you remove this. This is actually explaining how you should wire the wires from, so this cable goes in and around in here and goes out, so you don't have all the weird wires, including the high voltage 220 or 115, depending on where you are. So this explains all that. This is broken, so let me just take this out so I can briefly explain. This is really disgusting. There is spider webs in there. You can find the screw to take this off. So there's a screw here and there's a screw there, and down here there's a screw also. So when you take these two out, you can lift this out, and then underneath it there's another way to turn a thing out. I'll explain later. So this can actually be taken apart from this, so you can clean this thoroughly. Yeah. Okay. Let's. I need to open it. So bear with me. Let me just fast forward and have it open for you. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. It's been a few years since I've done this before. In order to take this off, the two screws need to come, but the front cover needs to come off in order to get hold of the last screw. So I think we need to get the front cover off, right? So there are screws down here that needs to be taken out. So let me fix that and come back again. Okay, the front cover is off. Need to locate all the 4 screws. More stuff, more debris, more spider, but this can just be cleaned, so it's fine. This, let me make the disclaimer, even though these haven't been turned on for years, but there can be high voltage in it if it has been turned on within a few hours. So be careful once you poke around in a monitor. We have high voltage. Let me turn this one around again and get the feet off, which is here. And now I am able to take it off. And what I'm talking about is this thing up here. This can be lifted out. And once this is lifted out, the feet can be turned and lifted out. So you have 2 pieces with so much crap in it. Okay, cool. I think, I don't think I want to go deeper into this monitor, and I don't want to open the other ones. I have poops and stuff all over the place, and I should most likely work with gloves. So what I will do, and then I eventually will come back. Obviously, I will open the monitor up. Should we open the top off? Let's just, okay, fine. Let's just so we can have a peek inside it. So let me find a Phillips screwdriver to take these 6 ones off. 2, 2, and 2, and they are all different. 1 Phillips screwdriver. Yeah. Let's have a peek inside it. Looks fairly okay. It's not as bad, but obviously there are spiders and stuff in here. I don't think we have mice poop in here. So I think this should be fairly easy to clean. Yeah, I will expect the other monitor is the same. Let me just briefly explain that the reason I took upon all of this is actually because of the 2 monitors. These are the value of everything Olivetti. The Olivetti computers themselves have more or less no value because there are many of them. There are not that many color monitors. Even though I sometimes see that an Olivetti M24 or the SP goes on eBay for prices that's like out of this world, and I cannot understand why people think it's okay to get £1,000 for an Olivetti or £500. It's effed up and crazy, but nevertheless, I wanted this because I wanted these 2. Because when I go to computer events, I bring with my computers, and I only have a few monitors, and I would like to have more. So that's the reason. So, okay, there's a lot of cleaning for me to do, and this will obviously take days. Once I have cleaned everything, I'll come back, and then I'll show you that is hopefully clean, and maybe we can turn some of the stuff on. There's a lot of measuring. We need to ensure the power supplies are working, and so much stuff. So it's a long way to go. But nevertheless, let me come back once everything is cleaned. I need to have a bath or 3, and then we'll have a look at all of this. So I just briefly wanted to tell you it's day 2. And I have finished up cleaning the 2 monitors. They're down on the floor. As you can see, it's piling up. It's a lot. I just briefly needed to document what I have been done and how bad it is. So I still haven't cleaned any of this. From here, all of this is the M24 SP. This one is the other one. These two are the M24. I haven't looked into them. So I just briefly want to show you how bad it is. And I think it's not as bad as I thought. But there's no doubt about that's rust. So this is the cabinet. That's rust. I can remove all of this. That's not a problem. It's just gonna take a lot of time. And as you can see on the table, it's all over the place. There's yuck and stuff. So the casing, it's bad, but it's okay, right? Here sits the back pane or whatever you're gonna call it, where you put all your cards in, and that's this one. Let me just, so it kind of like sits like this. Yeah, and as you can see, it's damaged here. So I don't have one of these, so I think I'll just desolder this one here. It seems just to be dirty, and maybe there's something going on over here. I need to figure that out. So it seems okay. I think we can make this happen. I just need to clean all of that. When I look at the power supply, yeah, it seems okay. Well, there's rust obviously, but that I can fix. But inside it doesn't seem so bad. So I'll have a look at that. This bunch is the hard disk and the floppy disk. They sit here in this direction. And I haven't tested anything. I haven't cleaned anything. The hard disk looks bad. So I have no hopes at all for the hard disk. I'm not even touching it. So, okay, that is that is the Olivetti M24 SP number 1. The motherboard is here. I haven't snipped out this. This is the next. I just needed all of this to go away so I can get free space on my table. This is the other one. And I started dismounting stuff from it, but then I had to stop because I needed to finish this. But I think this is worse. So if I take this out here, so there's also rust. But this looks a little bit worse, but we'll fix it. So all in all, I think it's gonna be okay. I just briefly wanted to show you the stuff, and yeah, I will go back and I'll see you in a few days, maybe a week. Well, for you it's just a second, but there we go. That's just the status before I start on all of this. So see you in a bit. I'm exhausted, but it's done. Let me just show you what I did. So obviously I cleaned the 2 monitors, and when I showed you that I cleaned it, I showed you also that this is on the bottom of it, where it has a marking of how you should wire the cords for the power and the video signal. I actually made my own. So I can punch out these, and then I can put them underneath the monitors also. So that's done. I will put this on archive.org also. There we go. I finished doing everything with the M24 SP. I haven't done anything to the 24 because they were kind of like clean inside. It's just the outer that needs to be clean, so I'll do that later on. I just want to briefly tell you about the 2 computers. Doing cleaning, I noticed a few things. First of all, we noticed there was not the red, as you see over here. This doesn't exist, that's gone. Another thing that's not there is the reset button, it's not there. And the green light over here, it exists over here. So here we have a button, and here we have a green a plastic thing that goes in here. They don't exist. Okay, cool. If I open them up, there we go. And I know that you most likely can't really see. Rust is completely gone. everything has been cleaned in here and everything looks fine. Nothing has been tested because that's for another episode. So over here I found one error that needs to be fixed. This was just floating up here, so that needs to be fixed. And over here, this data board down here, this is still broken. We need to desolder this in another episode. I also noticed that for this computer, the data cable, or is it the controller cable? I can't, the thin one, this one. I need to find one so this can be complete. Besides that, everything has been cleaned. The floppy disk drive, I looked at the hard disks. They do seem okay. Nobody knows until we turn them on, and I haven't turned them on. But if I move the head, I won't do it now. This is smooth. There's nothing wrong with neither of these two. So we could be lucky. I don't know if the head is damaged or anything. So everything is nice and clean. What I haven't done is the two, these came like this. These are the extended graphics cards. So obviously I haven't put this in because I don't have the bracket. I need to locate a bracket for this, again, on another episode. And over here, we need to fix all of this in another episode. I need to take them off and find new wires and solder them back so it's pretty, because the plastic for the wire is gone. So I haven't put them in. And this card, which also was in both of them, on the back it was saying digitizer. This is just a regular COM port, so I'm not sure why they had this in, because the computer comes with a COM port built in, but maybe they use that for something else, maybe a mouse, most likely actually. So this is an extra COM port, where the school that had these would have put in a digitizer or something like that. So all in all, everything is fine, everything is good. Let me just move in. It's been stressful. It's been, and it took me like, I think 7 days, no, 6 days just doing this, because there was so much to do. But it's been a joy. I was also wondering, why am I actually doing this? Why am I trying to bring these back? Because they basically have no values and you basically cannot do anything with them. But I do love my Olivettis, and it's a challenge, and it keeps me occupied doing stuff that I actually like and enjoy, and gives me calm, and I'm relaxed, and every day I'm working on this, I actually learn stuff. So that's the benefit, and I think that's actually why I am actually doing this. So with all that said, and from this weird angle, I just want to say thank you for staying this long. Yes, I know this took like an hour almost, but I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up, and please write some comments in the comments, so that we can have a discussion about what you think about me using a whole hour on your behalf, but 6 days for me. All of that, the thumbs up and you writing to me, helps both me getting acknowledged that this is actually good content, but it also obviously helps the YouTube things, so my channel can grow. So with this, I just want to say thank you, and I hope to see you very soon again, and goodbye.